Hello, and welcome back to the Homebrew. Last week, our group of adventurers gained two new companions, who were asleep in the woods between Basinth and Fapenwall. A Captain Flint Bright and Gooey Ooze were covered in strange yellow mushroom spores, which quickly faded upon our group approaching. After talking with the others for a little while, two new people decided to join with the group, making them currently a 5-person squad. They travelled back to Basinth in search of more information about the merchants, and learned that their next visit would be soon and not as large as their previous group. This meant the party could plan something. In the meantime, they helped out the mayor by finding the cause of their food shortage, which happened to be two Shahooigans who had taken residency in a nearby cave. The team promptly dealt with the Shahooigans and looted the bodies, and that is where we shall return.
My name is Ashley, and I play Lopard.
Hi, my name is Brew, and I will be playing Kyrie.
Hi, I'm Nix, and I'll be playing Ovani.
Hi, I'm March, and I play Flint Bright.
Hi, my name is John, and I'll be playing Gooey.
And I'm Rob, the you don't know how many I had to cut DM. Welcome to the Homebrew. So, from where you are at the moment, you can see the remnants of the Shahooigan, which have been looted. You've got the way out behind you, but the cave does seem to go slightly deeper, and there's quite a strong ocean smell from deeper in the cave.
Can we see how far the cave goes?
You can't see all the way in there, but you can see it only appears to be a short tunnel before it begins to open up again, but you can't make out what's in the room.
Okay. I turn to the group and I say, well, little birds, I think we should heal you up first. Sound like a good idea?
I'm gonna just shrug it off and walk over to the cave.
Fine.
I'm pretty
okay.
sure you still have the little vial that was made for you in Fapenwall of the healing root stuff.
Yeah, we do have that.
Kyrie also healed you last
Yeah, I
second.
did get healed.
Oh yeah, Kyrie
Back
did
up to
for
7.
like 7.
Close enough.
That's
I'm
almost
only
your
missing
max.
Truth. It's true.
I mean, I'm walking over.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Yeah, I follow behind.
I'm taking some of the crab meat that I pulled out of that little crab and feeding it to the belt on my hat.
Yeah, you kind of crack open a couple of shells, and there's some of the crab meat's cooked, some of it is raw, but you just ping it upwards, and you hear a.
I skip happily towards the rest of the group, making happy squishing noises.
So yeah, as Little Bird walks past this short tunnel, the cave kind of opens up. Do you have dark vision, Little Bird?
No.
Okay, you can't see fuck all. I'm pretty sure March was the one with the torch.
Am I?
And I'm not sure. Pardon?
Kyrie.
Was it Kyrie?
Not me.
I think it was Kyrie,
Oh.
but we do have dancing lights going on.
Yeah, but those only provide dim light, which still isn't great. That's like 20 feet in front of you, and it's a relatively large room. The walls are like dripping with moisture, but it is solid rock, and as you enter, the smell of the ocean kind of turns a bit sour.
Okay.
I guess I'll take the lead in walking back through the group. I'd try to put my hand out and pat Bean Man, but I'm guessing that my hand just seeps through.
Where are you
Depends-
patting?
Yeah, it depends how you're
head.
hitting him.
The head.
Friendly slap on the ass.
Okay, just push the head down and just kind of expands outwards a little bit like a water balloon.
Oh.
Just probably say good job, buddy, and then continue walking on.
Give a thumbs up.
With the torch, and I just light it in the way what we're going.
Yeah, as you enter, you see the cave walls start to illuminate with a warm orange glow, and you can see several woven wicker baskets lined up against the back wall. Some of them have been knocked over, and you can see fish carcasses in them. Some have been eaten, some haven't. From the looks of it, most of them seem to still have fish in, and quite a fair amount.
Oh, that's good.
Just gonna
Could
grimace and then go over and start filling one of the baskets with uneaten fish.
There's about 6 baskets in total of uneaten fish, and they probably come about 2.5 foot up, maybe 3.
God, that's so much
How wide are they?
It's a lot of fish.
How wide's the basket?
Probably, but they're about the size of like an ale cask. If you've ever seen like an actual like wine barrel or an ale barrel, they're probably about that size.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fish.
I just
But
have
some of them are starting to rot and smell, and some of them seem relatively fresh.
I'll probably like try and take control and say like, look, these are the people's like food resources. We need to get them back to the Gripply village and help them feed because they're starving out there. I mean,
They're not starving.
I like to
Well,
think
they're
that while
going to
Kyrie's
starve.
giving the speech, I'm just already filled a basket and I'm walking away.
You're eating them.
Munch up the fish.
Gui just raises their hand towards Kyrie.
hello.
And say, I can help move them.
Okay, Bean Man, what you got?
Okay. I will sort of point my staff slowly towards the ground and start tracing out the shape of a circle and sort of a sky blue trail kind of leaves behind. And as I finish the circle, I will cast Tetanus Bloating Disc, which is a 3-foot disc of force, which slowly just levitates off the ground. Disc can carry a lot. Put on we go. Put both thumbs up.
I'll start trying to load the baskets of fish onto the disc. How many can be fit on?
It can hold 500 pounds of weight. It can hold
But
a
it's
lot.
only 3 foot
It's only
wide,
it's only
so-
3 feet diameter, so it can hold a few of the barrels. But
Yeah,
we can
you,
take a
you
few.
fit about 4 of the barrels on there. Just like some of them are slightly over the edge, but you know, 4 if you push it, 3 with ease.
Yeah. So like an arcade game of stack 'em. Kyrie
Yeah.
tries to like stack them on top of each other. Obviously, hand coordination is sometimes not always there. So, a couple of oopsies and stuff like that. Anyone else helping?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, are these baskets, do they have a lid on them, or are they like open? What's the deal?
You can see like 1 or 2 lids thrown to the wayside, but they look like they've been like torn open, and the wicker that was used to make them has like peeled away and has started to get almost like wood rot.
Okay, I have an idea. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I wanna take 2 of the lids, or like, I think there's 2, or maybe 3. I wanna take those lids and put them on the baskets, and I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost to freeze them shut so we can transport them easily.
Ah.
I can cast Ray of Frost, which I haven't
You
showed
also
you
got
yet.
chill touch.
Yes, but that's
If you
Docrotic.
want to keep one fish really cold.
I think that's how that works.
I like to think it is. No, probably not.
Yeah, if you read through the spell, I don't think it will have the same effect you're after.
No.
But yeah, I do Ray of Frost then for 2 baskets. Do I need to roll?
No. For ease of like story continuity and stuff, yeah, easily enough. You like place your hand on it, and it starts off pretty thin layer of like chilly blue mist comes out. Starts to harden around the edges, and you can see little ice crystals jutting out. The longer you leave your hand on there, the thicker the ice gets, until you essentially form a barrier over the top, which is keeping A, the fish cool, and B, serving as a way so that they don't just spill out all over the floor.
Nice. Also, question: can we roll the barrels instead of carrying them? Is that possible?
Maybe not. These are wicker baskets. They've got give to them, but if you put them on your side and roll them, you're probably going to undo some of the woven materials and stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah, I carry. I don't know how many I can carry, but I smash as much as I can.
I'll say, what's your strength?
10.
Okay, well, as Little Bird's got 1, and Bean Man's carrying 4, essentially, you can carry 1 barrel. That takes you up to 6.
How many is there?
6.
Okay.
Oh,
Well
okay.
done.
Well done. Also, is there anything else in the cave? Anything of value or something of importance?
It just seems to be like shells of like sea animals and fish bones. There's like a clump of seaweed and stuff in one corner. You see the staffs that they used that had like the rusted sword kind of tied to the end of them. There's one of those kind of thrown to the side.
Okay.
Can I like pick up the weapon and see if it's got any markings on like the ring?
What do you mean on the ring? Oh, you mean like the ring?
Yeah, the riddle.
Yeah, make an investigation.
17.
Yeah, they don't. It just seems to be a very, very well-worn short sword that's kind of snapped in the middle and has gave it a point. It's very heavily rusted. The handle that was once like what looks to be like an ebony kind of wood has eroded away and kind of been jammed in this other bit of what looks like driftwood that starts off quite thick where it attaches to the sword but quickly tapers off and becomes quite thin, and then it's some tightly woven like old rope that's just kind of holding it together in place.
I'll just go, yeah, and just break it over my knee.
Splinters out everywhere and
Take one damage.
you get a splinter in your kneecap. Get treated or you'll get gangrene.
Good job.
I'm guessing we're just all heading out now, or trying to head out. I'll just lead the pack with the torch.
Yeah, how far of a walk did we take to get here?
It's only like 25 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not much.
It's literally like maybe 5-minute walk from the outskirts of town. And the town's not super big, so...
I'm gonna look at Bean Man and be like, is your plate disky thing gonna last the whole way back?
I just nod rapidly. Do we need another disc so you don't have to walk?
I'm just gonna nod violently.
I'm good. Maybe we could like separate the baskets on the discs if you can make more and make it more stable, perhaps.
I kind of just like go to put my stuff towards the ground and then just kind of turn a little bit grey. Takes longer. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So for reference, if I want to do this again, I'll have to spend 10 minutes doing it. As I can cast it as a ritual, which will take me 10 minutes, but I won't spend a spell slot doing it.
Meanwhile, I'm holding this basket with my 10 strength.
I can carry it for you. I've got 11 strength. No, I've got 13. I have 13 strength.
Oh, Captain, please let us share this load.
I'll carry it.
I'm just gonna throw mine at Kyrie.
Okay.
I've
Well, I
got
need
8
to-
strength. I'm
Well, I
already
need to make
sweating.
Well, I need to
Bardo's
make
got 3 feet and is panting because of how small they are and how big the basket is. They can't even pick it up, they're having to push it.
Okay, I'll take the basket off a little bit. We'll just march on. I'll have the torch lighted ahead of me.
Yeah, I'll stay ahead as well because I don't
Try
have
I
any
can say
barrels.
if Kyrie's carrying the thing, then I'll take the torch and
Yeah.
lead the way.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
About to say I don't want to melt the baskets.
I don't think they'd melt.
Well, the
The ice.
frost
line.
would.
Yeah,
Oh.
the ice might. Yeah.
Wood doesn't melt, bud.
It can catch fire.
Not soggy fish would.
No,
Oh.
I'm just referring to the frost.
Salty fish wood.
Oh. So, about 25 minutes, half an hour passes, and you've gone through town, and you kind of drop the baskets in front of the tavern. It's all there. It's all sorted.
As a note, as the disc is floating, it just constantly goes like just like a little Roomba.
Very nice touch.
Yes.
Oh, I can already tell what's going to happen with these things.
Can I just
Oh,
be
I
like,
have plans.
just
I know.
increasingly scared of the floating disc making the weird ticking noise. Not knowing if it's gonna take my head off within the next 3 minutes.
I noticed this and I fist bump Bean Man.
Okay, I fist bump you back, and my fist kind of dissolves a bit.
Oh.
meshes over your hand.
Okay, so I'll kick the door open of the tavern because I don't have any like arms to like push it open, but I'll kick it open like with just enough power, trying to like hope that the Grippleys there what was scared of the door.
Roll
Last
for
session.
strength.
Okay.
We all know Breeze has a thing for kicking doors.
Yeah.
Crit!
Are you serious? You rolled another nat 20 on kicking open a fucking door.
Why am I destroying doors?
As he kicks open the door, I'm just gonna use prestidigitation to make a fit. Ding dong.
So, Kyrie, hands like wrapped around the base of this barrel of fish, kind of turns to the side, readies one leg, and just like flat foot boots in between the doors. One of the handles kind of comes off, and a hinge comes off a little bit. These are little doors for, well, they're not little, but they're smaller doors meant for Gripply. And it kind of doors swing open, slam against one of them loosely, and then just slightly out of time you hear a ding dong as Kyrie is stood there, basket in hand, foot still out, looking very awkward.
I'm just gonna like survey the area, see if the Grippleys in there what like were scared before.
Most of the Gripply have flipped tables and are hiding behind them at this point.
I would just jollily laugh and say, it's dinner time, and then like walk up to the barmaid. I imagine she's there, and
Yeah, the moment you kicked open the door, she pulled out a bow and arrow and trained it onto your fucking head.
I'll be like, we are friends, not food.
Do not
Relax.
Do not worry.
And
It's just the usual.
I'll slowly lower the basket onto the table and say, fish, you, bow and arrow, down.
She looks at you, takes a deep fucking sigh, slams the bow and arrow on the table. Was there really any fucking need to that, bastard? I do see that you brought the fish back though, so thank you for that, bruh.
I'd probably just smirk and be like, nah, couldn't help it. And then,
Do you have the gold to replace the door?
I'd whisper to whoever can do
I'd say
prestidigitation.
gold, it would be about maybe 15 silver.
12 maybe? 12?
Well, I'm not the one that's going and making the hinges and stuff. You'd have to talk to the blacksmith for that if you want to borrow.
Okay. There. I'll speak to them later, I'm sure. Anyways,
Think I've got time to make hinges?
you think I've got time to fetch you food? Anyways,
Apparently so.
apparently so. I'm just gonna waver in the rest of the folk.
One by one, you each kind of trudge in. Some of you with baskets, some of you without, and then John with a disc, which kind of against the fucking doors because it won't fit through properly.
They're just kind of like
Just scratching the sides of the doors.
Breaks the door.
just run over and just sort of like put my hands against, just like shake about, like no, and just push
Will
it
fit?
outside.
Will it fit?
I push it back outside and just kind of like take
It gets
barrels.
halfway, and they see your face freaking out, and then they hear a as you pull it back out, scraping it once again.
Just use prestidigitation.
Yeah, I'll head outside and just sigh a little bit and take the barrels and not really pay any more careful attention to the door. Just kind of like, again, just like try to blitz past it and just put things down back on there.
Roll strength. No, just kidding.
Roll strength, yes.
I'm just gonna crouch
Nat
down
20.
and put my head in my hands.
You just throw the barrels in from outside.
Slamming against the door.
She turns and looks at all of you, nodding slightly, and she's like, "Bruh, you've done a great service for this town. I'm sure the mayor will not be happy. What happened? Where did you get the fish? Tell me.
So, what you expected, the Shuriken, there was multiple of them, and they did take the fish from your pond. So, I guess you were right, but they didn't really put up much of a fight.
She kind of looks around and sees Little Bird's cloak covered in blood.
I'm just gonna point to my open wound.
And she kind of looks and she goes, uh-huh.
Yeah. Just a acrobatics accident. We're trying to be gymnasts. That's, yeah. Anyways, Shuriken's no more. I don't think you have to worry about that anymore. And also,
You should really read a book sometimes. Shuriken. One of the two.
Anyways, blacksmith, door, repair. Where can I find them?
You have a map.
But why not?
You're in this town.
Why
Can
not?
you just tell me where?
Sorry,
It's
go on.
really difficult to discern when someone who speaks a lot and someone who doesn't barely speak common speaks at the same time.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold out the map and say, "Do you see a blacksmith on here?"
She goes, yes. Right there.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell grey block from grey block 2. Can you please mark that down?
Kyrie, all of a sudden, cartographer.
I'll just make a mark.
Putting Erin out of the job.
Yeah, I'll just make a mark, and then anyone else wants to do anything in the tavern field.
I'll cast Prestidigitation to remove the mark that Carrie made. Stealthily.
I'm gonna
Roll for stealth.
I'm gonna.
I will.
If this fails, I'm rolling for strength on probably the biggest slap you've ever seen.
Would it not be sleight of hand?
It's difficult because it's
Not sure.
prestidigitation.
But it's a spell, so generally.
Yeah,
sleight of hand.
yeah, I suppose sleight of hand.
Oh, sure. Let me see. Oh, 7.
You go to cast prestidigitation while stood in front of Kyrie.
Kyrie
And
looks.
you do the hand signs for it. And go to like run your hands over the map, and Kyrie just pulls the map out of your way.
Yeah, Kyrie looks up at you, and just looks at you with like the most stern face and say, "Look, I haven't had a good day today. Do you want to be that door?"
Just gonna look at Kyrie confused and point to my wounds again.
Probably just gonna point to the shield and say, "Do it better next time."
There's just 4 claw marks in the front of the shield.
Yeah.
I need to practice. Can I
Anyways.
go outside and just practice jumping off the wall of the tavern?
Yeah, if you really want.
Fud.
Just
Squawk,
It's just
food,
constant thudding and
food.
some squawking.
I'll waddle outside and watch Little Bird attempt this. And I'm actually going to sort of, as they're trying to do it, I'm just going to kind of push the disc up on a side a little bit and just sort of point to them saying, jump off that.
Just gonna nod excited and just start jumping off that instead.
Little Bird's now got a double jump.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw the barmaid a gold piece and say, "Can I have a drink for the captain? Because the captain always wants drink, and just some money for your troubles. Sorry, I've had a bad day today."
She scrapes it off the table and into the pouch, which is attached like behind the desk, and nods at you. And she goes, "I could do that." Starts pouring out a drink and slaps it in front of the captain.
You sure about
She,
this? I mean, like, I'm fine with having a drink, but, like, I haven't done much.
Well,
you did kill a crab.
how about you tell us a tale about anything, if you can remember anything? It just is a repayment.
I mean, sure, yeah, when we get, when we have time, you know, when we're staying here. I mean, that's what we get as a reward, right? We're staying here, we got a free night at the inn.
Yeah, sure.
Correct.
Barmaid, what about that?
The barmaid looks at you and nods, and she goes, "You've got until however long you need it.
Oh, sweet.
The rooms are yours whenever you need them.
Ooh,
Just
boom.
let me know ahead of time so I can kick whoever's in there out."
Can we take the drinks with us and just return the cups?
Depends where you're going.
I'm just gonna point to the map again and the mark.
I mean, Sure, the mugs aren't that hard to make. If you don't bring them back, you don't bring them back. People are kind enough to bring them back for you anyway.
Guess he's getting a free mug.
Okay. I'll just say, can you pour me another one, please?
Yeah, she pours a drink of the drinks that you've had in this bar up until this point. So for Little Bird, it'd be milk. For everyone else, including Gooey, I believe, it was the Slackio Cola thing.
Yeah.
And I'll waddle over and just water, please.
Yep, can do.
Does
She
it
just-
cost anything?
No.
Just kind of look over to what
Paying
the...
for water seems a bit redundant.
I just look over to the other two and see what they're drinking, and just stick my finger inside and start swirling it. And I'll use prestidigitation to change the flavour of the water to what they're drinking. As that is a thing you can do with it. I just lift up the glass and just go, and just stick my hand inside and just suck it all out.
Does it change the colour and everything of it?
Yep. I can change
She
the colour.
looks at you and she goes, "We could use someone like you in this bar."
I need this spell in real life.
I noted this and I go, oh, you can use it like that?
I just sort of turn
I'd like to
around
make
and
this
wink.
water baked beans.
Yep. Yep, you can do that.
Right, okay. I'm gonna, like,
She looks at the captain and she goes, "Actually, your blade on your side. Blacksmith might be able to do something fun with that.
Oh shit, really? That's pretty sweet.
He may charge you for it, but he may be able to do something quite interesting with that. He's done it for a few members of our guards."
For payment wise, do you know if he accepts like items that I can trade or only gold?
I mean, it's a craftsman area. There's probably someone there that will buy items off you for gold.
Oh, good to know, good to know.
Would be a shame if we had a
Can I
spear
just
to
dunk
sell.
my head back in, hear that, and then run over to the blacksmith?
Yeah.
So, shit.
Well, I'm just gonna walk out the door with the mug in hand and drinking it, and I'll notice that the little bird's skirting off all the way to the blacksmith already. I'm just gonna frantically like drop the mug and run.
Like a parent after their child.
Yeah.
Just, oh no, not again!
Yeah.
Just quickly turn to the captain. Do we follow?
I think so, yeah.
Can I turn yellow?
Run after them.
Gooey just gets up and starts running. And as he gets about 20 feet of the way, the disc just begins to follow as well. It lasts for an hour.
Are you all going to the crafting marketplace?
I'll finish my drink first.
Okay. Do you want to interact with anyone in the bar beforehand or while you're doing that or anything?
Nah, I'll just sit in a chair and drink it.
Just like to imagine they're in a constant state of fear. Still.
They're still hiding behind the tables.
Yeah.
The barmaid looks at you and she goes, "You're more my speed. Fucking rushing off everywhere. You're still gonna get the stuff done, regardless of if you run to it or if you walk to it. You may as well enjoy your ale first."
Agreed. I think I need some more of this.
With a party like that, I don't blame you.
It's tough,
Very rude.
but it's fun.
To be adventurers, it sounds fun.
Oh, it really is, yes. If you're cut out for it, and if you want to, but I can see myself returning home.
That's what mirrors are for, yes.
Oh, really? It's a
When
good
did
one.
she turn into such a bitch?
When her fucking tavern door got kicked off its hinges!
Paying for it.
Yeah, I I follow the rest now after drinking.
So, after about 5 to 10 minutes walk, you come across the place that was marked on the map, and all you can see is one alleyway that like leads into the back of it that says Old Port Crafters Market, like carved into the stones above it. and walking through it. The floor is, unlike the rest of the town, which was like pressed dirt, the floor for the crafters market is all roughly cut cobblestone laid out across the floor. The houses that were on the outskirts all have little outcroppings, almost like a conservatory without the windows and stuff. And it seems that this is where they're setting up shop almost. Like it's less them selling wares, more this seems to be the crafting district within Basinth. So a lot of them are just working on projects and chatting to people across the way with them as they do it. You can see as you enter, to your left there looks to be someone who's making little wooden sculptures and stuff. They all seem to be Gripply sculptures. You can see someone like organizing a series of books and stuff. You can see like almost directly in front of you out of the tunnel a Gripply that's got quite a few scars on his face, and he's wearing quite heavy leather gloves, and he's tinkering with his back to something, and there's an anvil next to him and stuff, and like a big roaring fire. There's a couple of other places that do they make fishing rods, or they'll make furniture pieces for the households, that kind of thing.
I'm just gonna sprint straight towards the blacksmith. I'm not even gonna look at anything else.
Okay. As you run over and excitedly like stand behind him, he kind of gives a backhead nod to you and then carries on, not really paying attention to you.
I'm just gonna tap him on the back and squawk a bit.
Looks at he like jumps and shivers a bit and turns around, hammer in one hand and like a pair of big iron like clasps in the other. And as he turns around, you can see that like maybe a quarter of the right side of his face is all gnarled scars that come up past his lips and underneath his eye and stuff. And he looks at you and he goes, yes.
I'm gonna hold out my scythe excitedly and just motion towards it.
He looks at you and looks at the scythe and he goes, okay. Do you speak common?
I'm gonna say in Kyrie's voice. Yeah, probably Kyrie's voice. Yes.
Not the voice I was expecting.
I'm gonna say in Ovani's voice. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You're one of those people that can kind of talk common. Alright.
Hold the thumbs up.
He, not what you were expecting. What looked to be like a simple wooden stool. As he turns around, the slats on it that would usually be like straight four slats kind of twist and curve, so that he's essentially got a swivel chair that's a stool with limited motion, so he can rotate around in it without having to like adjust his stool every time. The wooden beams kind of bend and not curve, but I don't know how to explain it. You know, like when you have a piece of machinery that like can slide and go on a slant but still be steady?
Right, yeah.
It's that kind of thing. He kind of looks at you now and he's like, name's Reb, and he kind of takes off his gloves and slaps them down next to him, and you can see he's got quite large hands for a Gripply. He puts his feet up on his other desk and like slaps his hand down and he goes, so how can I help you?
I'm just gonna point to myself and say, in the woman's voice, little bird. And then just hold out my sword again.
Okay then, little bird. Funny, that name sounds familiar, but never mind. He like grabs the scythe out of your hands and looks at it and like runs his finger along the blade, like inspecting it all. And he goes, I haven't seen one of these blades in a long time. Probably since my blacksmith's apprentice days. And he chuckles and hands the sword back to you. And it's like, so how much are you looking for it?
I'm just shake my head violently, like, no. I hold out again and saying, I think probably Ovani's voice, magic.
I'm a blacksmith. I don't do magic, but I guess you could call some of the things I do magic to the. He chuckles and like holds his belly, he's like to the lesser educated in weaponry.
I'm just gonna give him a look like, really?
What are you looking to have done? His voice changed.
Right, you're looking at. What are you gonna have done to your?
What are you looking to have done?
Fuck. Just gonna like frustrated pull out the notebook from my bag and write down upgrade ? And show him.
He takes the book off you with one hand, feet still up, holds it in front of like his one good eye, and he's like, I'd love to, but I don't fuck with that type of weaponry.
Just gonna be like, what?
Too much hassle involved. Kenkus and bird folk of the type usually get pretty mad when you see that you've fucked with their craft. And me being a frog, I'm not obliged or even that willing to try and go toe to toe with a bird.
I'm gonna look him dead in the eye, and I'm going to say in the woman's voice, "Your scythe, your mission."
We could adjust it to be a scythe if you really want
Just
it.
gonna roll my eyes like, no. Just like frustrated, looking at my hands like,
Off the distance, just hear, just like destruction.
You're like
heading
5
your
people
way.
running at me in full armor.
If you're interested in the kind of, as you call it, magic that I do with weaponry, he pulls what's kind of like a meat cleaver, probably about the same size as like half a short sword, but it's like twice as thick. He pulls it out and shows it to you, and then flicks his wrist, and the top half flips over and clicks into place with the second half. So it's now twice the length, but half the width. And he places it down in front of you, and he goes, "That's the kind of shit I do."
Just gonna look at like, fuck. And then I'm going to look at him, very confused, and repeat what the bar lady said about him doing work on the guard's weapons.
Yeah, the god spears. He kind of leans forward and rummages around in a barrel and pulls out like a spear. It's got like a pointed end to it with wood that kind of comes up around it. And he taps the bottom on the ground, and it splits the wood up the sides. And he kind of peels the wood back, and inside is a short sword with a thin handle. And he goes, Tink drops it in front of you like on his desk, and he goes, "Weapon magic."
Just gonna like give him a deep sigh and look dejected and walk away.
Can I like burst through the door now, but like not kicking the door?
I mean, there's no door, it's just like an open area.
Yeah, I'll
Just
I'll
hear the clinking of full plate mail.
Yeah, I'll walk in and wonder what's happening and just be like, "So you must be the blacksmith, right?"
Oh, good, more people. Yeah, I'm Reb, what's up?
So, I have a proposition for you. I have these. I'm just gonna take out my backpack and just lay out 5 javelins on the table, saying, "I haven't got much use for these, but you may get some use for them."
I'm, more interested in that armor you're wearing. The wolf fur on it's a nice touch. I worked on something similar recently. And he kind
Yeah.
of grabs you by the scruff and pulls you closer to his good eye and, like, lifts up a bit of the wolf fur, and he goes, "Oh, that's why. That's the armor I made." And he pushes you back.
Okay, so... the javelins?
Yeah, what about them? You looking to have them upgraded or sold?
Sold.
Where did you get the javelins again? Or were they just a part of your adventurers pack?
What am I, kid?
He picks up each one and examines the tip of it and stuff and balances it on his finger to try and find the middle weight. And he goes, They're not the best quality, but I could probably do something with them. How does 10 silver meet your fancy?
How about you can have those, and I have a little project for you. Are you any good at making doors?
That's... I make the hinges and stuff too. That's where I got the inspiration for my weapons.
Alright, we basically just need a door. Scratch
What
my
size
head.
are we talking? What kind of house?
A tavern door?
Oh, the door's on the tavern.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, I would have charged you 10 silver for those hinges anyway," and he kind of leans forward again and opens a little chest that's got like 4 different sections in it. He lifts out one and places it on the table. It's got another 4 sections under that. It all seems to be different bits of like spare parts, and he reaches in and slaps 4 hinges in your hand. He goes, "There you go, I had them on hand."
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna look behind me and say, does anyone know how to use
Do they need
these?
fitting?
Yeah.
As Kyrie asks if anyone knows how to, I'm just gonna lift my hand up as I'm walking away.
Okay. Yeah, they need fitting.
Okay, I'm guessing it's for Brew at the tavern.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What time is it? And he looks up with his one good eye and puts his hand underneath the sun, and he's like, if you see her again, tell her I'll be by later on tonight, about my usual time.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll just walk out with the hinges, and I'll just, when I go back, I'll put them in the tavern ready for it to be fitted. But I'll just walk out and I'll say, seems like a nice person. Just if you need anything done, I'm sure they can help. Just the rest of the party, welcome to do whatever.
He looks at the rest of the party and he goes, "How do you think I can help you folk with?" Oh, you see him getting more and more comfy on his stool.
Captain, you go first. I have a thing.
Yeah. Do you, obviously, I can hopefully sell your stuff. I don't have much money on me right now. Barmaid said you could get this upgraded and take out my cutlass, put it on the counter. Counter? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a couple of wooden tables he's got around him. Like various bits and bobs laid throughout, and he picks it up and he goes, "Sir." Huh. And he's like finding the center of balance, and he's like, "This again, one of those familiar things." And he starts like inspecting it like closer and closer, and he goes, I swear I've seen this kind of thing before."
I mean, yeah, it's a cutlass. They're pretty common.
Don't get sarky with me. No, this particular type of cutlass is... And he kind of takes out his hammer and hits the bottom of the cutlass, and you hear a... And he kind of pulls out a rod, and then like... That's like holding the handle in place and stuff like that, and he leans in and squints, and he goes, "Ah, the Grand Duchy of Nuvania, that'd explain it." And he slides it back in and then pulls out a different hammer and smacks it on the end.
Sorry, could you repeat that? What did you say?
The Grand Duchy of Nuvania. That's where it was made. Quite a small region, you know, probably about the same size as Rockall from what I've heard, but in terms of seafaring weapons, they make some of the best.
Noted.
They have a river that flows almost all the way through the region. So many little dock villages and stuff like that, all the way across it. Beautiful place if you're a seafarer, which Looks like you are. So, Bree said you're looking for an upgrade to this, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
I can, and he's like looking at it and fiddling around with it, and he goes, I could do something to it. He looks at you, goes, yeah, I can definitely do something with this. How would you feel about folded blade with a hook end?
How good is that gonna be, like, hitting stuff? I've got people to protect
and he pulls
now.
out his meat cleaver that's like double the size, and he flicks his wrist again, and it folds back in and locks in place. And he goes, "Be something with this kind of design. Ease of storage. It takes up half the amount of space lengthwise, so you could hide it in a backpack, or if you've got a leather undershirt, maybe behind your back or attached to a belt or something. It's a little more inconspicuous than just carrying around a full-sized weapon. And the hook end would mean if you were to lunge with at somebody, which cutlass technically isn't used for lunging, it's more of a slicing weapon. If you were to lunge at somebody, the hook, which wouldn't be that big, maybe about, and he like takes out his finger and the blade and like measures his finger, maybe about a finger and a half's length of a hook that would come out the bottom. It would give your a cutlass a nice piercing point to allow you to do piercing damage as well as slashing damage, and upon pulling out the sword, it would also tear anything that's in between the 2 points.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. So you were looking for things to trade for the cost of that.
Oh no.
Yeah, how much would you say it's gonna be? How much would you total it at?
He kind of picks up the sword again and is inspecting it. He goes, we'll call it 40 silvers. This is something that I kind of want to work on anyway.
Right. Pat my pockets. Right. I don't have that amount of coin on me. A lot less,
That's fine.
actually. But, and I take off my amulet, and I'm like, I could offer you this. Might be good as, to melt it down for metal.
I'm not interested in jewelry. Through the refining process and stuff like that it would take for the metal, for the amount of what looks to be gold I'd get out the end of it, just wouldn't be worth it.
What if I told you it had magical properties?
Then I'd be even less interested in taking it, being a blacksmith.
Is there any, if you could hold on to that and I can go sell this somewhere else, I really need to get rid of it. It's just, clogging space, that kind of shit.
I mean, you could leave your cutlass here. I could just work on it and keep a hold of it until you've got the coin.
Yeah, sure. I have other weapons. Let's hope I don't forget about that.
Okay, he kind of takes the
Shuffle
sword
away.
back off the table and
Yeah.
puts it down on the table that looks to have all of his tinkering tools and stuff like that, and he goes, oh, I'll get working on that.
I come back
Tonight.
for the blacksmith and just home the captain my gold. I've got 1 gold.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that, I promise.
Literally just gonna walk back, do it, and then walk away again.
You people are too kind.
Funny how the little bird fuck heard that, huh?
I'm just gonna hold up a
joking.
middle finger to him.
Gooey,
I like that one.
Gooey's gonna be like panting in a very weird way, and the whole body's kind of just like wobbling, and pale white, and just kind of.
I don't like that one.
Just kind of look up to the captain. Money? And just turn my head.
I don't have
Roll.
any. Not right now, anyway.
I just
Not that I know of.
just take my little pouch and sort of open it up. How much?
No, honest to God, you don't have to do that.
I mean,
As far as I know, I don't know cash.
this guy's order's already been paid for by the little feathered one, so we should be okay.
Is there like a lot of hinged weapons that he's made on display at the moment?
They're not so much on display. He has a couple of what he calls his hybrid weapons, or like his magic weapons, just kind of laying about that he's working on at the moment. It seems to be something that he does, like, just when he's bored.
You just sort of
Because the people of the town usually just need standard weaponry.
Gooey just sort of waddles in a little bit and sort of takes their hat off and sort of plates it down gently on a desk.
You're bald. Wasn't expecting that.
Was he expecting hair?
Nope, no hair.
I was expecting something.
Hair would be so much weirder.
And you just see them slowly turn a little red and just start... Is there any pieces of, like, parchment or anything that are kind of lying around in this guy's area?
Not really, no.
Okay.
There's a couple of, like, what look to be blueprints kind of, like, nailed to the table in front of him, but other than that, nah.
He just kind of points to the blueprint and say, "Use other side, please."
I can just get you a clean piece of paper if that's what you
I
want.
take out a bottle of ink and my quill, and I start twirling it in my fingers and just look to him completely
I'll take
red.
that as a yes.
Yeah.
He turns around and, like, stands up, and you can see, like, one of his legs, also on the right side, is all gnarled, and he kind of walks with a bit of a limp. He opens up a separate chest, this time that's, like, located in one of, like, the little open conservatory bits. He grabs a couple of pieces of paper and limps back out. And, like, holds them out in front of you, and he's like, "So, what did you want these for?"
I sort of take the parchment and slowly place it down, and almost like a person possessed, Guru just immediately starts drawing out rapidly. Essentially a series of metallic sheets that are all square and sort of doing lines on either side to show a 3 foot by 3 foot square. Hinges all going on the insides of each other to show they would fold in, and just put less than 10 pounds, spin it around to him and just push it forward.
Less than 10 pounds.
Yes. Be 15 kilograms.
So you're looking to have a folding box made?
Just kind of do a wavy hand gesture to sort of say, "Not really. Open to floor. Fold up."
So, a flat piece of metal that opens up into almost a cross of metal that can be used as temporary flooring.
Both my thumbs up.
I don't have that kind of sheet metal on hand.
How much you need?
He kind of takes the bit of paper and looks at it and starts adding, like, side notes to it and stuff like that, like diameters and the average weight and the amount you need. And he goes, if you've got about 50 gold spare, I could do it.
Just kind of, the red just goes a little bit grey, and just look in my coin pouch. Just sort of shrug a little, pull my coin pouch. "I will be back." And then just sort of put my hat back on my head and just sort of turn
Do you
around.
want me to keep a hold on the paper here? Or
Just give a thumbs
do you
up.
want to take that with you?
Give a thumbs
You're
up
just
as
giving
I
me a
walk
piece of
away.
paper about folding metal, sure.
Yep. I walk away.
Kind of just throws it into the chest. Ginger winged one. What's your name?
Oh,
Oi! Ginger winged one, what's your name?
completely out of it. Looking around. Name's Kyrie.
Right. Your armor. Feel a bit too heavy for you at the moment?
I'll like swing my arms around a little bit and just sort of do like a little few stretches. Not really, no. Why do you ask?
I can make it lighter for you if you want.
It's not
Same
really.
defense, just a little bit lighter. Means you could probably carry more on your back. It'd be on the house as well.
Oh, okay. If it's on the house, if it's on the house, I'll agree to it. Can I have anything to cover myself with?
I mean, you're wearing clothes underneath your armor, aren't you? Oh god, are you not wearing clothes underneath your armor? That just leads to chafing beyond belief.
Well,
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you how to do it yourself. Most of these armors, run-of-the-mill armors that you get nowadays, they've got the metal on the outside, padding of leather on the inside. In between those two, they fill it with like a coarse ground something. I don't know. I don't make armor. Get rid of the coarse ground shit. It's pointless. It's just to make it a little bit softer for you. And if you start wearing clothes underneath your fucking armor, you won't need to worry about that.
oh, okay. Thank you.
The last thing you want to be doing is essentially wearing a sandbag.
Sure. I'll just waltz off and try to attempt to do that in like my own privacy.
Can I go back over to him? I wouldn't just walk back over to him and write in my... Actually, no. I'm going to say in his voice, repeat that he said, my name sounded familiar.
Yeah? The name Little Bird.
To be like,
There's
why?
There's writings in books about Kenku called Little Bird. Ages ago. You never heard about the Little Bird stuff?
I'm gonna shake my head
no.
confused.
Go talk to Bulgai over there. He kind of gestures towards that Gripply that you saw before. But now, like, they're out in the open, you can see they've got quite thick-rimmed glasses and they're sorting through a lot of books.
Oh god, it's a nerd!
Bulgai would probably have the information. I remember him mentioning it a while ago.
I'm just gonna give him a little bow and run on over. Give him a little skip over.
Courteous fucker, aren't they?
Just gonna middle finger
Do
again.
I overhear
There we
that
go.
conversation?
There we go. Pardon?
Did I overhear and see them point to the nerd?
Yeah. It's just like he's only gotten out of his seat once, and it was to get you some paper.
I just immediately turn around, turn bright pink, and run over full speed towards this person with glasses.
Okay. Oh yeah. By the way, Reb rummages in his pockets and hands you. He like holds out two hands and he hands you 49 silver and 100 copper. Is it 100 copper to 1 silver?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He hands you like 49 silver and 100 copper. And he goes, that's your change from the gold. Give that to the little one. That's to you, March.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you were all back and forth. I'm like, is this me? Alright, thanks. Yeah. I'm gonna follow after Little Bird there. Give him the change.
So as the three of you approach, you see, unlike the other Gripply of the area, the person who Reb called Bulgai is kind of where the rest of them were quite like lime greenish or emerald greenish. this one's got more of like a toady coloration. It's a lot dirtier brown with like ripples of black throughout the skin and stuff. Quite a bit more lumpy and, you know. And he looks at you, goes, "Hello."
Just gonna wave and give him like a short bow, and then point to myself and say, "Little bird."
I can see you're a little bird. Wait, are you one of the little bird?
Just gonna shrug and be like,
You aware of your past?
I'm gonna shake my head and pull out my notebook because it's gonna be easier. Just gonna write in, woke up in the street in a city, wandered around, saw a vision, came here.
No, I don't mean that kind of past. I mean like your ancestry past. And he kind of gestures his hands in the air. His glasses slick down a little
like,
bit. And
right in Kenku past.
Yeah, the past of the Kenku.
I'm just gonna write in the book, I still dream of wings.
Not that far back. Okay, he rummages around and brings out like this really tattered book, which has got the same raven symbol on it that you saw on the letter that you had from the Raven Queen.
I'm going to quickly just like look up to the sky and pray in Auron, and then return to him.
That was weird, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Right. He opens the book and like flicks through a couple of pages. He goes, "This is brief history on Kenku. Us being frogs and Gripply, we have to kind of keep up with natural predator stuff."
Just give him a confused look, like, what?
He flicks through, and after a while, you start to notice that the pages are getting like more muddy and worn and like awful and barely like intelligible. And he goes, here we go. So, what bits of your ancestry do you know?
I'm just gonna be like,
Okay. Are you aware
Parents
of
gone.
Are you aware of the Raven Queen district?
I'm just gonna, oh, what the fuck? No.
Okay, so couple of probably thousands of years ago, way off in the mainland, in the hills, big temple, gorgeous temple, where a woman who was said to be the reincarnation of the Raven Queen lived. She had royal guard, as you would expect, for essentially the reincarnation of a god in their form or whatever. No one knows what's happened to it, but we've found remnants here and there. No one's been able to find it per se, so it's just been legend up until, currently. But we have found writings of letters from essentially the reincarnated Raven Queen, where she would refer to her royal guard as little birds.
I'm gonna like hold out my hands and like ask to see the book.
Yeah, he slides over the book and he like rotates the book around and slides it towards you. It's written in Gripply.
So like, fuck, just give it back.
I figured you wouldn't read Gripply. I'm sorry. So we found a couple of letters. No one's ever seen a Kenku that has gone by Little Bird for ages. Very few actually are aware of, the goings-on within the Kenku community, essentially. Not a whole lot of you guys around anymore.
Not sadly.
Yeah, the war wasn't great. But there were tales of, within these couple of letters that have been found, of little birds, or the royal guard of the Raven Queen, being gifted over time. The stronger they became and the more reliable they became to her, the more things they would receive from her. So, when they were initiated into becoming a royal guard, they would receive a curved sword with engravings upon it.
I'm just gonna go wide-eyed and just draw my sword a bit.
Yeah, kind of like that replica you've got there.
Gonna shake my head like, no.
They said that I'm assuming it's falsities and word of mouth and stuff. There was talk of reincarnation Raven Queen feathers being folded into the blade itself, meaning that I don't know an awful lot about it, but meaning that when it killed, there was a whole procedure for giving an offering to them or something. Not even many Kenku seem to know this. This is like some kind of lost history level stuff. You're more than welcome to take this book if you want. If you've got... I've got no use for it. 5 silver.
I'm just gonna hand over my entire coin pouch.
How much is in it?
49 silver and 100 copper.
He kind of looks at you guys like, are you sure?
I'm just gonna nod, like, violently.
Do you want the pouch back?
Just shake my head.
Okay. There you go,
Just
friend.
hold
It's
the book
yours.
close.
You kind of... This rather sizable book in front of you that's written entirely in Gripply.
Yeah.
Just before
Quietly waiting.
I, like, back off, and I want to just, like, bow deeply and say in Ovandi's voice, thank you for everything.
It's okay, friend. You say your name's
this point,
Littlebird.
could I
What's your
waddle
actual
over?
name?
I'm just gonna look at him and just big bird grin and just open my mouth and let the noise out. Just the noise of a market and someone's be like, apples here, and shit like that.
I'm gonna call you Apples.
Just gonna double thumbs up, like, yeah!
Okay, well, Apples, it's been lovely chatting with you.
Gonna, like, vigorously shake their hand.
I'm trying to think who else might have knowledge on Kenku history.
Can I pull out my notebook again and just write, who we know roughly where district was?
All we know is that it was in a mountainous region.
Ugh.
I just sort of... Can I just sort of, like, crouch down? Actually, I think we're, like, roughly the same height, aren't we? A little bit,
I'm,
a
like,
little shorter.
4 foot-ish.
Yeah, you're a little bit shorter than me. I'm just gonna put my hand on your shoulder and say, I can read the book.
Just gonna excitedly, like, start vibrating and jumping up and down like an excited kid.
In terms of if you're trying to get more knowledge, there's this book, a little less worn, was written by an elven lady all the way out in the Principality of Smotfia. It's one of our neighboring regions. Yeah, lovely elven lady there. She wrote the book. Archaeologist, I had a copy of her book, translated it into Gripply, and then, as bandits do, when the town was burned, he kind of scratches his head and he goes, I think a third time.
Damn, these people have it rough.
I lost most of my books. We don't have to worry about much burning now. Why do you think we build our houses out of mud?
Just gonna be like, yeah, no, that's fair, actually, yeah. And then I'm gonna say in in Gooey's voice, name?
My name?
No, shake my head like, no. Point to them and say, Olgi. And then...
Bulge? Oh, Bulge Eye. Sorry, they call me it because of my big spectacles.
But no, I'm gonna write in the book, because fucking... Kenku's hard!
Yeah.
I'm gonna write in the book and just say, what was the elf's name?
Ah, yes, the elfin lady. Nasir Zinven. Nasirzinven.
Just gonna write it in the book and just underline it like 9 times.
I'm not sure where she is now. Last time I saw her was probably about 10 years ago.
Ugh.
She should still be in the Principality of Smotvia. I mean, it's a home place. But
I'm just gonna, just again thank them and just excitedly vibrate with my book.
Quickly give Little Bird their cash back, the change that they got.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything?
As he mentions that he's lost all his books, Gui was just about to look like he's about to say so with both his hands out, and then just kind of shoulders just slump down and just turns grey again, and just kicks a rock.
If you're interested in books, I have a few.
Turn green immediately and perk back up. Books?
What kind of books are you looking for? It'd be from my personal library, but...
I sort of use prestidigitation to make a small pair of glasses and just sort of stick them into my head.
Mocking me?
Just sort of like shake my hands like, no. And sort of take out the large scroll from underneath my backpack and sort of just point to it and point to the hat, point to the staff.
You're a mage of some kind?
Rapidly nod my head.
Okay. Mage books. Books that may help a mage. I've got a book on the history of wheat farming.
Just stick a finger to my non-existent mouth.
There's...
It's okay. We have book, and sort of like gesture to the book that Little Bird has. Put the scroll back underneath my backpack, and sort of turn around to the captain. To tavern?
I know a book that may interest you. A book on the cult of Bane.
Turn around to a little bit yellow. And just, what?
They're big on their magic.
How much?
Because you terrify me, I'll say for free.
I turn
Okay.
bright pink and
Take
just
it.
sort of hold out both my hands.
He slaps... He says it's a book, but it's more like... like those relatively thick information pamphlets that sometimes come through your door?
Yeah.
It's like that. Inside it talks about an old cult that used to be around that worshipped the god Bane, and how he would bestow magical powers upon them, and how it was very frowned upon, and that's how they undernamed the cult rather than Religion of Bane. And on the front of it is like a black hand with a swirly in the middle, and then like blue flames around the fingertips. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna grab Gui's arm and like try and get their attention, and then hold out the book and say, fuck. Translate?
So take it. You say it's quite like tattered and muddy.
The beginning bits are like fine, but that just explains like Kenku stuff that Ashley's already aware of, like why Kenku can't fly and stuff like that. But the further back in the book you go, the more tattered it gets, the worse it gets, the less you can read. There are pages missing, pages with like chunks torn out of them or like singed.
I'm just gonna sort of open the tattered pages and just kind of like rub my sort of sleeve against it and use prestidigitation to clean it up as much as possible. Just to try
Does prestidigitation work on stuff that you can't have seen before?
and I can clean or soil a surface.
Oh, okay.
You could also use mending.
I could if I had it. Yeah. But it would just reform the page and not the writing, sadly. So I've looked down to the little bird and just go, later tonight?
I'm just gonna nod, like, excitedly.
So hand the book back down to them.
I'm just gonna stick it in my bag and skip off to the tavern.
Yeah, I would like to say. Oh, excuse me. You just got something from that Gripply over there. What was it again? This pamphlet? May I look at it?
Just kind of pass it over to you. And kind of turn a little bit blue. Cock my head a little.
And Sin, you said that it had the symbol of the hand with the flames.
Yeah, it did.
Ah, you did. So I look at it a bit closer now, and I see it, and yeah, I'm very unsettled by it. And what does it say on the inside when I look at it?
So it's like maybe 6-7 pages long, but it's like folded parchment that's kind of been held together with twine. The front page has obviously got the symbol and it says the Cult of Bane on it. Then the actual inside of it talks about...
You seen before? And sort of tilt my head to the napkin and the pamphlet.
Yeah, we've encountered this before, and it's not good.
While they're doing this, can I like stop in the middle of the street, remember something, and sprint back on Blacksmiths?
Nice.
Yeah. So the book itself talks about the god Bane, who is also known as the Black Lord, the Black Hand, and the Lord of Darkness. It talks about how he's the god of hatred, fear, and tyranny, and how he's a lawful evil, greater god, and he's known across the Faerun as the face of pure evil. He lives on the Dread Plane, but will occasionally come down indirectly through worshippers and other agents to achieve his plan. How he will give certain people powers to allow them to be stronger than the other gods willed them to be, so that they are more likely to side with him and help him when he is eventually summoned. And it talks about it's basically like a what do you call it? A recruitment pamphlet to become one of the cultists of Bane. It talks about how when Bane comes to the material plane, all non-believers shall be wiped from it. He shall claim it as his own, and all of his worshippers will be rewarded handsomely for helping him achieve that. However, if you were to become a member of the Cult of Bane, they would not tolerate any, you worshipping Bane and other gods. If you were found to be worshipping other gods, there would be punishments and stuff like that. It talks about how the god Tiamat was Bane's servant when Bane was resurrected for the second time, and how Tiamat is big, scary, and you should be afraid of Tiamat, but you should be afraid of Bane more.
Disturbing.
Gooey slowly removes the glasses that was stuck into their head, and they just kind of poof away.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep a hold of this, if you don't mind.
Just stick both my thumbs up.
I put it back in my backpack. Very concerned.
I'm just gonna whisper to Ovani. Don't show the little bird. Please, just don't.
Why? Again?
Evil, bad, squawk, bad shit.
What?
If Little Bird encounters anything evil or demonic, they have to kill it.
But I don't mind if he kills Bane.
We might need this book pamphlet to get into somewhere.
Oh, you're talking. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Bird kills gods.
Yes.
And I just look to the both of you.
Little bird, God Slayer.
I play on
Just
my
a shredding solo.
Anyways, I'm just gonna be like pretending off because I'm like, yeah, maybe. On a good day, maybe.
Meanwhile, I write down everything that happened with the blacksmith. That he has folding weapons and such
Okay.
in my little notebook.
And little bit.
Yeah, just to
and
keep
Little
track
Bird,
of
you
things.
wanted to go back and talk to the blacksmith again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now then, how
Um,
can I help you?
I was gonna pull my sword out again and hold it out to him and repeat the line from Bulgy. So about the feather.
I mean, if there's a feather in there, then the blade won't be that strong. 'Cause, I mean, there's foreign substances in the metal, which can cause weakness and fractures within it.
I was gonna shake my head like no, and then say magic and point to the sword.
You want me to see if your sword's magic?
Gonna nod.
Okay. I'm not super well versed in this, but
Gonna pull the book out and just like frustrated again. And write, there may be a feather in it. How could I find out?
oh, you want to find out if there's foreign substances in it?
Yes.
Well, the easiest way is to melt it down and see what kind of slag comes out of it.
I'm just gonna be like scared, just hold my sword to my chest, like no.
If you're looking for the other way, though, there's I personally won't be able to do it, but there's a guy, a little.
I'll just be like, oh crap, dashes, and then I realize that I need to go make amendments to my armor, so I'll be doing that.
and maybe put on some clothes.
So he looks at you guys. Yeah, Durga, like shadow dwarf dude, in Orrimond, in the capital. I've heard tell that he's got some kind of device that can scan items magically, like detect magic almost, but without using magic. It's all self-contained. I personally have no fucking clue whether it's true or not, but if you're looking to find out if your weapon's got something else in it, he'd probably be the person to talk to.
Gonna bow again, thank him, and put my sword away and skip back to the tavern for the final time.
Okie dokie. I'll catch you later then.
Just give him a wave.
Oh, I didn't get your name. He kind of gestures towards Flint.
Flint Bright. Captain Flint Bright.
Captain. Well then. Whereabouts are you staying?
Are there other inns in the town?
No, there's just the one.
Yeah, just the one inn that's...
The Drunken Boulder. Right. Well, how long are you gonna be here?
How long are we gonna be here?
I tell them.
Just
Arrive
Tell
in
them.
3 days.
I don't know if Flint knows that.
I should have your sword ready for you by tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
I'll come and drop it off at the tavern for you. Even if you're not in, Bree can hold on to it for you.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Anyways, I imagine that I finish off my armor by now, and I'm like, whoa, this is really light. So I'm just gonna come out of the tent or behind a store, and I'm just gonna like fly out and say, look who's got wings now. I mean, I always did, but I can use them at least. what's even the stuff in the middle? Like, what is this? And I'm just gonna have like a bunch of it in my hand. Do you need this? Do you want this?
No. A lot of I don't want to say lower class because that's not the lower trained armor smiths tend to fill cheaper armors with like sand and stuff like that, so that even if the metal on the outside is pierced, it's a little bit of extra padding.
Yeah.
But you seem like you can take it.
I'm gonna fly over to Ovani and just whisper and say, "He said he made this. Means he's bad."
I didn't make the armor. I simply attached the wolf pelt to
How did
it.
you hear that?
I'm a Gripply, I've got really good fucking ears.
Bad thing.
No, we have renowned terrible hearing.
you only assumed that I was saying that.
I have ears
Okay,
too. And so
yeah.
I put my hands up in the air with my completely bald head.
Yes, you do, buddy. Yes, you do, buddy.
Right. Okay.
So are we all heading off back to the tavern then? I'm just gonna be like showboating with my wings a little bit, just like bouncing, like from like it's kind of like spaceman bouncing, I guess, just with the wings just floating up and down and up and down. Not really like
After a couple of them, you do start to get a little bit out of
Yeah.
breath because the armor is still like relatively
but
heavy.
like I'm trying not to show that as well. So it's like
You're like try to keep your mouth closed so
Yeah.
that people can't tell you're out of breath.
Wait, do I notice this?
Make an
lol.
investigation.
I'll be like,
Yes.
they still got it.
4.
Okay,
Nope.
probably not.
No.
I think it's good enough of a facade, I guess.
I am genuinely impressed. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make my way back now. Are we done clearing up in the little marketplace, or?
I still want to just have a look at the books from the bookshop. Or the person with all the books, if he's still around.
Yeah. Bulgai's still.
Yeah, I just want to look. What kind of books are there? Or how many are there?
There's not a whole lot, and it just seems to be a general mishmash of stuff that he's got like left over from all the fires that have happened. That he's kind of retranslating and rewriting out.
Yeah, I probably just look through a few, but they're not really interesting, or I already know about them. And yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just move on. I give him a little wave and head to the tavern. What's Captain Flint doing?
He'll head back to the tavern as well. I think he's given up on trying to sell his amulet.
I mean,
No one
There's-
wants it.
there's a trinket merchant, like magical trinket merchant here, but if you want to go back to the tavern, you can.
Yeah. I'm gonna who's still has everyone gone to the tavern?
I'm on my
or-
way, so I'm probably really close.
I'm gonna grab you by the shoulder and be like, I need your help.
Oh,
I need your help.
Sure.
You seem like a much more intelligent person than me. I need you to help me with this ruse, okay?
Yes, sure. What is the problem, Captain?
Okay. I need to get rid of this and show off my amulet. I need you to help me get rid of it, just to sell it, okay?
Well, I mean, it looks like a pretty necklace or amulet.
Exactly.
I mean, I would take it. I like it. It's pretty. If you don't want it,
I promise you, you won't get anything out of having it.
that's very cryptic.
Yeah, no, you know what? You'll see in a sec. And I go over to the person selling.
So as you
trinkets.
approach, you see a Gripply, again, emerald color, but they seem to like take quite good care of themselves. They're wearing, whereas the rest of the Gripply were wearing like leather and cloth. This person seems to have like a silken neck scarf around them and Like they've got like a lip ring in of just like gold, and he like leans on the desk in front of him, like puts down a ring that he's working on. He goes, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
I would like to sell this, and I slam my amulet down on the counter.
Okay, so you, just to be clear, you're just looking to sell, yeah?
Yeah, just selling.
Okay, so you've got no interest in buying anything in the shop.
No.
Okay. He kind of scoops up the amulet, and you can see, like, although his hands are webbed, like, the bits that aren't webbed have also got, like, smaller rings on them and stuff. And he, like, looks at it, and he's, like, examining it, and he's like,
It's got a few magical properties. You know,
like, as you say that, his eyes come up and meet yours, and he's like, what do you mean by magical?
oh, you know, it has like protection magic on it, a nudge, nudge your already a bit.
Can I investigate with Arcana for that?
Okay, I want you, Nyax to investigate with Arcana, and March, I want you to make a fucking deception check.
Yeah,
Ooh, I'm rolling bad today. I have a 9.
that's fine.
You have no fucking clue.
That's more. It looks like an amulet.
That is
Shiny.
Oh no, that's a 7. That's 3 plus 4.
He looks at you and he goes, "You trying to have me on here?" And like he puts his hand under the desk and he's like, "A lot of people are warming up to the new folks that are coming into town, but if you're trying to have me on, then there's going to be a problem."
I mean, either way, it's a nice looking piece of jewelry. I'm sure we can get, you know, some kind of copper out of it.
He kind of sighs and brings his hand back out and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like the fact that you lied to me, so I'll probably reduce costs for that."
Fair enough.
He kind of holds it up to the sun and has a look at it, and he's like, "You been out at sea much?"
I gesture to how I'm dressed. Maybe.
I was asking a question. Don't be vague with me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the salt water's affected the gold, so it'd take a fair bit of tidying up and restoring. I happen to like restoring, so that's not a big problem. He takes the amulet once more and he goes, "Give me just a second." And he walks into his house.
And I want to nudge
the distance on
Captain over here, and I lean in and I say, "What was that about? The lying part?"
Don't worry about it. I'll tell
I
you
am
later.
very worried. But okay.
After a second, you can hear like deep in his house and then him go, What the fuck?"
Oh, should we
Slowly
run?
back away. No, it's out of the radius. We should just
Excuse me?
push drag him towards the
You
tavern.
hear footsteps come back out.
Excuse me.
So have you ran off?
Yeah, I've gone. I'm gone.
Are you still there, Nyax?
As soon as she runs, I run.
Well, Captain.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, he.
Yeah.
But I meant, you know.
Gooey's just kind of watching all this happen
Yeah,
from
Mark.
a
That's
distance with like the kind of hands to the sides, like what are we doing? What are we doing?
Can I look behind me and see what happened?
You see him stood out there looking around with an arm out like, where the fuck did they go? What?
Are we out of sight of the trinket person?
Yeah, you're like out the little markety area now.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So what?
All of that. Normally, I can get a bit of cash from it, but normally it's right in front of me. Wasn't expecting them to go in, and I reach into my pocket and I take out the amulet.
What? So you have 2 of them. See?
No, this thing is very fond of me. it won't leave me be. Normally, it just results in me being able to get a bit of cash from whoever's idiotic enough to sell it to me before it comes back to me. But yeah, you know, main reason why a captain like myself is so far away from the ocean.
So, I see. I like that. But you're stealing. But I like it.
I'm a punter, that's my whole shit.
Well, have you tried breaking it?
Yes. Burning it, crushing it, throwing it into the ocean, none
Eating?
of it works.
Have you
It all
tried
just
Dissolve,
returns
eating it?
back
and I
to
hold
me.
out my hand towards it.
Gooey suddenly next to him.
Do your thing, Beanman. Do your thing.
I give it
Gonna
to Gooey.
attempt to see what happens if I try and eat this thing.
Okay. As Gooey like lifts back the head and the hat just kind of falls off, you see a way too wide like opening across the face that kind of like splits the head in half. And then like almost like a slime tongue comes out, wraps around it and pulls it in. And you can see, like, as it closes up and Gooey, like, dusts off the hat and puts it back on their head and looks at you, you can see it in Gooey's face, slowly dissolving. But as it's dissolving, Captain, you feel a warmth in your pocket, and each bit that dissolves within Gooey is appearing in your pocket and connecting to another bit.
Yeah, ain't working. So thanks.
My thumbs up. Tastes bad.
I'm just astonished by this.
The axe has just seen two mortifying things.
I write vigorously and intensely in my notebook.
Goo man, big mouth. Scary amulet won't die.
Exactly. And as I'm done writing everything down, I look back at the amulet, and I don't suppose I recognize it from anywhere or something.
Well, if you do, that'd be great.
Make a
History maybe?
history check.
Sure. I have +3 to that, so let's hope. Fuck. 5. God, that's been bad.
You've seen amulets about it, like it throughout the world. Because obviously you're not from this, like, section of
Yeah,
land.
sure. I probably can't tell from what culture it is, like elven or something, or human, or...
No. You just know that you've seen maybe one or two kind of similar.
Seems like you have a curse, Captain.
Nah, sadly, yeah.
Doesn't seem like a bad thing, though.
And it's just a annoying piece of jewelry. The most complicated thing it causes me is I have to coordinate my outfits around it.
I
It what?
understand. And as I look to you... Tavern?
Yeah, let's head back if you don't mind, Captain. Or do you have anything else in mind?
That's everything for me.
Alright, let's head back to the Captain. Tavern.
You turn around, the captain's there.
Oh, why hello. It seems you appear here again as well. You're also cursed.
Just like the amulet.
Yep. Everywhere I go. Oh, same with Breeze. Kyrie. Every time I see him back, he's also cursed.
So now you're all in the tavern. The other people that are there have been drinking a little bit. Minus Little Bird, because Little Bird doesn't drink.
Milk.
So, Breeze has been drinking. Boy, has Breeze been drinking. The barmaid kind of looks at you and goes, you know, your friend here had a fair few. I think it might be time for you to take them to the bedroom and conk them out.
Not me.
Just gonna look down at myself like, how?
Just takes it with their staff and begins carving the circle on the ground. And as 10 minutes pass, I ritually cast Tessner's floating disc. Yep.
After 10 minutes, I mean, we can just carry her.
Yeah.
So meanwhile,
carry her.
Bean Man is doing that. I my that word. How do you say it? Reluctantly. Go over to Kyrie. I assume she's passed way the fuck out, so I carry her upstairs.
I'm not passed out. Don't worry about me.
Yes, don't worry.
The Bunoi rainbows.
What?
We have beans upstairs. Sleep, yes? Beans, yes.
Beans.
After conking out Kyrie, the night seems to progress uneventfully. Is there anything you guys want to talk about throughout the night before you all head to bed?
I think I'd go
Just
to
busy
Gary
drawing a
just before I go to
circle on the
sleep,
ground.
sort of give- I mean, yeah, I'd probably just be like
Still.
interrupt them, just don't bother, and then just give them the book.
Take the book. Do we have individual rooms or one room we share?
You're currently all sleeping in the mayor's house, which is you have to go out the tavern and round the back up some steps because it's actually above the tavern. The tavern doesn't have rooms per se because I don't get guests, but the mayor has rented his house to you, which is it's about the same size as the tavern. So there's probably like 2 rooms to share between, like 2 rooms that you could all easily sleep in between a lot of you.
Take the book, and while I'm sort of waddling towards wherever everybody else is, I'm also going to try find Avani as well.
Yeah, I'm wait. Yeah, I guess I'm upstairs in the mayor's room because I carried Kyrie there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all sleep together in room.
Unless you want to sleep outside, yeah.
The goo man outside, go shoot.
Be mushroom, go.
Just turn a little bit blue and just shake my head. And I sort of like point to the book that Avani's been writing in this whole time. And,
Oh.
and sort of like conjure a few dancing lights for a second and just kind of hold them in my hands. Magic? Yes?
This book. Yes, it's my book. It's my notebook. It's yes, I can see you noticed. It's very magical. But I Jesus, hesitantly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
I-
works as well.
Jesus.
Breeze at this point is leaning out the window, just head first.
Yeah, I put her there. Don't worry. So, I hesitantly said that, and I sort of look at Beanman's scroll, and I say, yeah, it's kind of like your scroll, very magical,
My
but
book. I take
a
out
bit
the
different.
huge scroll
yes, your
and
book.
just unroll it on the floor. And there's not really writing on it. Like a really weird mixture of symbols and drawings of some things that don't really make any sense. But there's a few letters in there that are uncommon. And then there's actually like, it's almost like someone's like drawn it in regular handwriting in common, but then it sort of gets to a point where it continues into just gibberish. And the handwriting in common is very, like almost someone's been like writing with a knife instead of a pen and quill. And there's like a weird eye symbol in like the corner of where the common writing is, but then everything past it is just complete gibberish. Magic. Good, yes?
I don't know if this. Sin. Do I know this scribbling or something? Do I recognize it?
No, it just seems to be very scratchy writing with like a little symbol next to it, kind of like how certain people would put like something identifying of their works on it, whether they're like someone big and famous or someone just starting off or whatever. They would try and have like a little symbol for them.
Yes. Beanman, where did you get this from? Do you know?
Just kind of, I squint for a minute, and then kind of just put the hand to the forehead and just turn like grey, and then white, then black, and just kind of like stare at the scroll and just shrug my shoulders.
I don't know what this is, to be honest. But it's very interesting. I've never seen something like this before, to be honest.
What
Can
languages
I
do you know?
read any of it? Common and Oran.
You can.
You can read the common bits.
Wait, I can also read Elvish and Sylvan. Are those on there?
1 second, I need to check.
I mean, the common bits, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they can maybe work.
Yes.
I mean, they're
work
gonna
out,
have
like,
to
a
know how
few
to
words
read
of
it
it.
and write, right?
Like,
Okay.
you can't understand like, I thought everyone can, just defaulty.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
guess.
I don't know if that's a
It
thing.
sh-
Because of the mimicry stuff, I don't know if it's like I can read and write
I
common.
think it should be in your race description or background, maybe, if it says.
You can read and write common, but talking it you can't do without
Oh,
mimicking.
okay.
Okay.
Because writing is essentially mimicking stuff you've already seen. So,
I'm just gonna look to Ovani with like sort of a kind of confused and a little bit disappointed look. Say, woke up wearing clothes. Magic can do. Don't remember.
You don't remember, you say?
Yeah.
Well, I could help you maybe with this. It would take some time maybe, but maybe if we discuss this, I could maybe help you because I know a few things, a few magical things from my journeys. Maybe some of them will help. Speaking of which, and I take out my notebook and I show him the notebook when it's closed, and the front of it has a few like symbols on it, few, like magic circles and stuff like that, few runes. And out of character, Beanman or Beanman, can you read Sylvan?
Kind of look towards you. Not yet. I just
Not yet.
take out take my stuff and take out the book that's Little Bird. I assume you gave it to me.
Yeah.
And just kind of begin gently waving my staff sort of over the text a little bit, and little pieces of it just kind of light up piece by piece. And it will take me 10 minutes to cast, but after the 10 minutes have elapsed, I sort of grow a small little nose and ears and just prestidigitate a pair of glasses on, take my hat off and sort of shake my head, and a bit of like gelatinous hair just kind of swiggles down the sides, and hold the book up almost like a poet reading a sonnet or something, as I have cast comprehend languages. As I can now read, I can now understand any spoken or written language. Very convenient that I took it.
Very convenient, yes.
As I begin sort of reciting what's in the Gripply book in a very not auto-tuned voice, but kind of almost like radio voice, in very rapid pace. And then eventually just look over to Ovani's book and read whatever it would say.
As you sort of read it out, I'm gonna just write it all down in my notebook, much as I can.
it'd just be the same kind of stuff that Bulge Eyes told you earlier.
Yeah, but I want to copy it down like word for word.
Oh, yeah.
Beanman was taking my book
can-
too.
Just sort of glance up the text that you were pointing at and read whatever it says. 'Cause
Yes.
I can now read it.
Ah, I see. So, to you, it would sound like something similar to, I haven't really thought about this yet. Yeah. So maybe something like introductory guide to rituals and magic. something like that.
It's basically like a tutorial.
Sort of. So I guess I should mention this to Sin and everybody else. I've mentioned this before to Ash and Breeze as well in this talk. Oh, well, the D&D sessions, I mean. This book is a translation of a grimoire in Sylvan.
You'll haven't encountered grimoires yet, by the way.
Yeah.
The other two.
But I'm saying this out of character, so
Yeah.
back in character, I would sort of look at B-Man and say, oh, impressive. I've yet to learn that one yet, maybe you can teach me. But back to a serious note. I sort of cover the book with my hands, and I very carefully say to B-Man, I would be very careful with what you're reading next. And with what I said, I mean...
It's hot, gay, erotic.
It's the last we are going to get made.
Gooey turns pink.
Oh, yeah!
It's not safe for work. Ooh. No, I would say it is very dangerous, so please, maybe don't read it aloud. Maybe just keep it to yourself. And I open the book, and you would read, sort of, like I said before, introductory guide to magic and rituals. And it would be like a book, really old. Everything is sort of really old and almost washed out, but still readable. And a few pages go on, and it's nothing spectacular. You already know a lot of this stuff. But then it sort of turns to this very sort of erratic writing, and a lot of different kind of symbols or runes you're not really familiar with. And then it continues, and it becomes very hectic. A lot of scribbles, almost as if it was written really fast and really hastily. And then it sort of delves into magic you have no idea about. You don't recognize it, and you can't really tell what it's about, even if you can read Sylvan now.
Gooey just kind of nods a little bit, takes off the glasses and just kind of throws them in the air, and they just disappear. And just ears and nose recede back into the head, and the hair just slowly sinks back into the forehead, and it just regrows to normal size.
Yes, so this book is... Well, I use the last pages for myself, because those are empty, but the first half of the book is filled with very dangerous stuff. I would strongly advise you to never ever attempt to cast or use any of the rituals and spells used, especially the last one. But I sort of point towards my own scar that you can see behind my mask, sort of poking out across my eyebrow, and I say, you really don't want to mess with that stuff. And I've been trying to figure out what's really going on with this book.
Gooey just kind of stares at the tome for a while, and just sort of looks off in the distance a little bit, and then sees Breeze halfway out the window, almost like they're crawling away.
And with that, I also take out another book. More books.
I smell beans out the window.
Just kind of waft my hand and create the scent of
So,
beans.
Oh, nice.
Slowly lingers back into the room.
Slides back in and just... Beans!
Doing some very wavy, slight flights. It's like spring steps. Do you know when people smell, the cartoons smell
I was
food,
going to say,
and they're
you could just
float
unconsciously
towards
use your
it.
wings to kind of flutter towards the smell.
Yeah. Yeah, very cautious flaps like a butterfly, beans.
Oh, I cast press the digitation, Jesus. With bean smell outside the room.
Oh no.
Does Kyrie follow the smell?
The carrier would follow the smell, so
Perfect.
heading back to the window.
As all this is going on, it's now got quite late into the night. You hear the noise of a broom on the floor that you're on, and the barmaid going, "Shut up! I'm trying to sleep."
Before I do go to sort of... Well, this will be an interesting experience to watch how Gooey sleeps, but I just sort of put
Ooh,
I
ouch.
sort of put a hand onto like Avani's shoulder a little bit, and just kind of magic can be adaptive, and sort of like create the dancing lights, and sort of just crush my hands together, and the four orbs just kind of like swirl into place and create a outlined version of Avani in a light form. It's like, depends how you use it. Bad.
I am
Bad can
enthused.
be good. Good night. And Gooey just immediately just collapses into a small puddle of clothes.
I am wistfully staring out into the distance.
Kyrie would probably go nighty night and then just immediately like fold in on herself.
All
I
you
think
hear
Little
is
Bird,
armor just clink, clink, clink.
Smack.
I think Little Bird watches Yui just sort of fall in a puddle to the ground, and it just has like an existential crisis.
The hat just kind of like
for
slowly
15 minutes.
wafts down from side to side towards the ground.
It's like,
So, sure enough, morning comes round. Kyrie's got a bit of a hangover, and you hear her on the door.
No, 5 more minutes, please.
Good morning.
We don't really have 5 more
I'm
minutes.
just gonna like.
We need you all now.
I think
Oh, God.
Little Bird wakes up at like the crack of dawn. So I
Oh
think,
yeah, this
you know,
is like
answer
the
the door
crack
at the
of
end.
I'm
dawn.
gonna like
Just like jumps out of bed, bag already.
my eyes
ready.
are like super glued. Well, Kyrie's
Sort
eyes are
of.
super glued to each other, but like they still know where the sound's coming from, so they just open the door to like. Would it be them standing there, or would it just be like people shouting from?
It's the barmaid stood at the door with like a bundle of cloth.
Okay, so what like the barmaid would see is not a very pleasant sight of Kyrie, just like eyes glued to each other, just little slabber marks and stuff like that down, and like just various like very unkempt hair. The armor's like dispositioned and stuff like that.
Your chest plate is off to the side.
Backwards.
Oh yeah.
Let's start to give you this by Rab. Kinda need you all awake now. Merchants are here at the gate. A little bit too early.
I jump up.
It's possible to me. I'm gonna take
She like hands the cloth to you, and what you've got now is your cutlass looks like it's been cut in two,
Okay.
but now has weird like springs and bolts across the back of it, so you can now like fold it up, use it as a short weapon, or click it out and use it as like a long weapon. And the end of it is now like pointed like a spear that then comes back on itself, still bladed, so you can use it as a piercing weapon as well.
Okay.
And she goes, merchants at the gate, smaller, but they're fucking early. You all needed to fucking deal with them. Now's your chance.
Yeah, I go outside and pass by Kyrie, who's looking really good today, and I'm off to the merchants. Well, sort of. With the
I'm-
group.
Literally just a stone
I'm gonna-
statue in the middle of the doorway, by the way.
I'm
As
going to pull out my hood, draw my sword, and walk towards them, saying it's more priority.
Wait, is Beanman awake? Is he
Have any of
alive?
you been walking across the floor out of curiosity?
Yeah.
You know how
Yes.
yeah, you know
I
how
slipped.
when Gooey like
don't have
uses
one.
blind sight
Scrapes me off the bottom of your
and
shoe.
shrinks outwards a little bit?
Yeah, yeah.
part of Gooey has dripped through the floor.
It just slowly kind of like just reforms and just like
As you all are getting ready, you hear like glass breaking and someone goes, "Where the fuck are they?" And that's where we're going to call a session.
I hope you all have enjoyed, both players and listeners, and we will catch you again next Monday. Goodbye.